How's it going, everyone? My name is True Wonder Dog, and today we'll be having a look at Erron Black's Variation 3. Now this variation is very curious to say the least. It has a lot of interesting setups, and it also has very high damage potential as well, especially to end off combos. As always, please request which character you want next in the comments section down below, and without any further ado, let's get started. So this variation gives us access to two new special moves. The first one is Acid Pour, and the next one is the Bear Trap. Well, technically it's the Nether Beast Trap, but I'm gonna call it Bear Trap just to keep things simple. So first up, let's start with the Bear Trap, because I find this thing very fascinating. So the startup is very long, 59 frames, so almost a full second. So it's a very long time before this move is actually active, which means you're definitely gonna want to hit confirm into this thing. There are certain moves that have tons of recovery for the opponent, so as long as you pick the right string, you'll have plenty of time to set this bad boy up. However, outside of that, this move can be very risky in the neutral, because once again, a full second goes by before you can block. So the opponent has all day to run in, dash in, even get a jump in combo in some situations if you're not careful. But with that said, this move does actually duck certain projectiles. So some characters like Frost or Cassie Cage have high hitting projectiles, which means if you time things correctly, you could potentially duck under them while setting up this trap. So let's go ahead and showcase that real quick. So I'm gonna go ahead and tell Cassie Cage to fire her bullets. She is in Variation 2 right now. If she was in Variation 1, I'd be in a lot of trouble. She could just shoot me right in the shins. But she's not, so I can actually duck while she fires. Let me go ahead and delay it a bit. So check that out. I avoided every single bullet and had enough time to set up my trap. Very nice. However, as you can see, it goes away on block, so they didn't fix that. I was kind of hoping they would. Ooh, and you can also get hit as you're getting back up. That's the thing. I was hoping you could block before you stand up completely, but you can't. So if you don't time it correctly, the opponent could still catch you with their high projectiles. But even so, this move has a ton of potential, and let me go ahead and discuss why. So for starters, it does actually extend combos. If the opponent falls into it, it's go time. That's 100% a combo. And the damage you get off of it isn't too shabby. Look at that, over 30%. And then if you manage to throw the opponent, they're already half dead at the cost of 1 bar in 1 setup. So that's pretty darn good. And then if you space this move properly, you can actually use it to loop your overhead. So I can go boink overhead and then boink overhead again. And if I hold the button down, that's a crushing blow, easily 30% damage. So let's go ahead and do it one more time. So set up the trap, get lucky with the slide. They block wrong, and here we go. Boom. Almost 40%. I comboed into my overhead crushing blow, so that's pretty crazy as well. However, in the corner is where this move truly shines, and I'll show you why. So let's go ahead and put Cassie in the corner here. So if I manage to land this string, I can then cancel into the bear trap, and she wakes up into it. And if she's not blocking low, she will get caught, which means I could do a jump in. And if I'm smart, actually, I'll just do it again because the opponent might not learn and get caught by it a second time. A lot of players don't see this move very often and might not know it's a low, so it may work a couple of times on them in the corner. But then let's go ahead and tell Jackie to block. So I'm gonna go ahead and set her to auto. So once I hit her, she will block. But now she's at the mercy of whatever I do next, because check out this move on block. Ooh, look at that, plus 10, baby. So whatever I do for the most part, she has to deal with it. I could do my overhead low 50-50 shenanigans. I could go for the overhead. It's not gonna combo because the bear trap's already gone, but it's still an overhead, which means the next crushing blow is locked and loaded. And in fact, even if the opponent tries to roll away, you do still have time to react to that. So let's go ahead and do get up and have her roll behind me. Yeah, roll behind me. So even if she goes for that, I do have time to catch her. I can recover completely before she actually is done rolling. And in fact, I'm wondering, can I throw there? Do I have enough time? Oh, I do! And it catches her in the trap. Oh my goodness. Now that may vary from character to character depending on hitboxes, especially female hitboxes. But it looks like as long as you throw pretty early, you will either catch them or they'll get stuck in the trap, which is really cool. However, now I'm curious what happens if they do a wake up 3, because technically that's invincible. So all it's gonna come down to is if I can actually block in time. If I can, I should be completely safe, but if not, I'm in a lot of trouble. Alright, so here we go, moment of truth. Will it catch her and can I block? Okay, I could block in time, but she also destroyed the trap. Even so, I took away 2 bars from her. She can no longer break my combos, and she also can't spin bar more than once, so that's pretty darn cool. And then I imagine if she goes for a wake up 2, she'll just get caught entirely, so let's go ahead and check that out. Yep, no invincibility there, so just full combo. I could jump in, do it again. If the opponent hasn't learned, they get caught a second time. And I should mention this also works for forward 3-2 for the most part. It'll beat the wake up 2, it'll beat the forward roll. I don't think it works on the wake up 3, but let's go ahead and see just for fun. I don't think it's quite enough time. yeah, she'll still get me and she will destroy the trap. So most of the time, this is the best situation. But if the opponent doesn't know about the wake up 3 escape option, then you could still do forward 3-2, that will still work. It'll also catch them rolling, all that good stuff. But if you want the guaranteed setups that keep you safe, then you want to do back 2, up 4, and then into the bear trap. That's the best setup most of the time. And then last but not least, there's one more thing to cover about this move, and that's if you amplify it. So if you spin the bar, Erron Black kicks it at the opponent. Now I'm not sure what the exact distance is, it may go full screen for all I know. You gotta amplify a bit late. Okay, not quite full screen, but does go very, very far. And once again, they could fall into it, and then you got your combo. Oh my gosh, such an easy 33%. Now, unfortunately, the startup isn't any faster. It's still 60 frames, but it could catch some players off guard if they don't know you can do that. But I wouldn't recommend doing this option very often. It's the same speed and the exact same effect. I don't think it's even any more damage. So no, it's not. It's still just as good, but it's nice to have a fun option to kick it at the opponent and catch them off guard every now and then, especially in casual matches. And honestly, one more good reason to do this move that I just thought of is the opponent sees you go for it and then jumps forward, and you could then kick it under them, and then it's behind them, so you could then like combo into it, get that crushing blow, all that good stuff. So there is 2 reasons you could do the bar. You want to catch the opponent off guard, or you want to send it behind them because you know they're jumping in, and this places it behind them. Those are 2 reasons you would want to spin the bar, but most of the time it's just not worth the meter in my opinion, but it's still nice to know there are a couple of reasons to spin the bar. And next up we have Acid Pour, so a decent way to end combos, and the animation has been changed completely. So originally he would actually pour the acid no matter what. Now he just shoots the opponent. You gotta spin the bar a lot earlier, and then you're treated to this very long, very cool animation and a bit more damage. So before he poured the acid no matter what, now it's only if you spin the bar, which is actually a bit of a secret nerf, believe it or not, because now the opponent won't stay in the acid puddle for nearly as long. So I got 140 there, not bad, but if I wanted even more damage, I would spin the bar because they'll stay in it for longer. And I'm almost guaranteed 20% here. You're like 22, pretty decent damage for just 1 bar, and keep in mind you could combo into this move. And then of course we can't forget about the crushing blow, and this was also changed. So now you get the crushing blow without having to even spin the bar, and look at that, 30%. That's just gross. I can't even imagine what that's like in the corner. Let's go ahead and see real quick. It used to cost a bar, now it doesn't, so let's say the opponent's in the corner. He tossed that really far, my god. Toss it a bit closer. There we go. How much is this? Oh my god, almost 40, and that was a very basic combo. Let's say I jump into it. Once again, a very simple combo, but my god, almost 40%. It is 40%. 42, 420, ayo! And once again, didn't cost me any bar whatsoever. And unfortunately, now that I tested it, I just noticed that you don't actually get the crushing blow if you spin the bar. Used to spinning the bar is what actually gave you the crushing blow. Now it doesn't seem to work anymore, which is unfortunate, unless I'm missing something. Is there some other way to amplify the move that I'm not getting? Nope, just the one amplify option, so I thought that both of them crushing blowed, but it seems like only the regular version does, so you're not going to spin the bar most of the time, but if you have already gotten that crushing blow, then it's very much in your benefit to actually spin the bar because once again you get more damage. They stay in the acid puddle for longer, you just get more damage overall. Now of course the issue becomes the acid puddle doesn't stay around all day. You only have a limited amount of time before it actually vanishes, and if the animation isn't done by then, you won't get the crushing blow. So the clock definitely is ticking, you only have so much time, but once you manage to land it, that crushing blow is just ridiculous. And that's about it for this variation, so now time for my final thoughts. I really do like the idea behind the bear trap. I just wish it didn't go away if you block an attack because that does limit its potential quite a lot, but it's still fantastic for setups. I love how if the opponent falls into it, it still counts and keeps the combo going. I also love how if I manage to do the drop kick, they can fall into it that way as well. You gotta be pretty far away, but I just love the idea that if I catch them with the running boot, that can actually count. It can also catch them doing wake ups, all that fun stuff. It's especially strong in the corner as well, as we saw earlier, so it certainly does have a lot of utility, especially if you combo into it. Even though it does have very long startup, as long as you hit confirm into it, you do have time to set it up and the opponent can't even punish you, especially in the corner. The only thing limiting this move is the fact that it goes away on block. Outside of that, very fantastic move. And then we have the acid pour, which can be a very fun way to end combos, and if the opponent is standing in the acid and you don't have the crushing blow yet, you get an easy 40% damage because that crushing blow is just ridiculous. And then even if you already have the crushing blow or simply don't want to spend it, if you spin the bar on this move, The amount of damage you get if they're in the puddle is just immense, especially in the corner. It adds a lot of extra damage to your regular corner combos. However, it is very, very unsafe on block. I didn't mention that earlier. It's minus 15 and you're very close, so full combo punish if you don't hit confirm into this bad boy. Overall, I think this variation has a ton of potential. The problem is that variation 1 is still just way too good. You have way more zoning options, you have counter zoning options with a scud shot, and the scud shot also keeps you safe on block after this overhead string. It's very tough to punish, especially if you space it correctly. It still becomes unpunishable when canceling into scud shot, and you don't have any of those options in this variation. And your combos from mid-screen are also very limited because you can't cancel out of this move. You can't hold up to cancel out of it. That's only available in variation 1. It just sadly doesn't have the tools that variation 1 does, so I don't think this build is bad necessarily. It's just that variation 1 is so ridiculously good that if you want to main Erron Black, there's no reason to really pick anything else. Now, me personally, I would love to rock this build online, but I'm not competing at tournaments for money. If cash money is on the line, I feel like most players are still going to stick with variation 1. But please let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below, and then while you're down there, go ahead and leave a like if you enjoyed this video. It really does help my channel out a ton. And finally, why not keep that combo going by subscribing and ringing that bell? That way you never miss a future video. Make sure to come back next time, and as always, stay underdogs.